We're live. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Armed and thirsty.
Armed and thirsty, and maybe we got a little echo, but I don't know. It's too bad.
I think we're good here.
Yeah.
We're outdoors. Actually, this is the first time that you and I are in the same town, let alone across from each other.
Yeah.
At a table.
What's a little weird is I don't know whether to look at you on the screen or look at you across the table there.
Don't let the technology compete with reality.
No. That's like, when you take a camera on vacation and you spend the whole time clicking everything so you can relive what you didn't live in the first place.
No doubt, because you're not paying attention.
Right. Actually, my first trip to India, I thought I got to take pictures of everything. And oh my God, I took thousands of pictures. And yeah, I looked at them and I thought, that looks like a pretty cool place. I wish I had been there.
Looking at it through a lens rather than in reality.
Yeah, luckily I went, and the next time I didn't bother with the camera.
Well, today we're fortunate to be doing this live from the parking lot of actually our 1912 Realty office here in Tucson off of Oracle. And the Valley Gold team, this is a tradition of theirs. They've been doing this for years, and they do an amazing event along with Nova Home Loans, Premier Title, Salvation Army, and they put on a great event to really take care of the community.
Yeah, I mean, if you look behind Lloyd, you can't see it behind me, but behind Lloyd, there's a great big truck back there, and there are literally, I don't know, maybe hundreds of turkeys. There's a lot of turkeys and food, and hopefully there'll be a few more dropped off before the end of the day.
Yeah, I know the efforts last year actually fed 1,100 plus families. And so that's a lot to be proud of. It's a lot of work that goes into this. If you're out and about, if you're catching this, you're in Tucson today.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, this is going to be set up at least until 2:00. We're live right now. So
right. Rush on dinner, bring a turkey or a can of beans or whatever you got.
Seeing us on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. We're going to be here, and you can we'll be around too. So John's going to be signing autographs until 4.
Oh, I was ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille, but the camera wasn't.
Out here is what I'll be taking. So but one of the things we were going to talk about today is a little bit about you said taking a break.
Well, right. And I think it ties into the whole gratitude piece and the Thanksgiving piece. If you just, in my experience, if all you do is work, it's really hard for you to understand what the point of that work is. Whereas if you take a minute, you take a breath, when you smell the roses, as I said the other day, you kind of know what you're doing fuller. That's the first piece. Yeah.
To be honest with everyone, and again, thanks for joining us, but to be honest, when John brought this up yesterday as a potential topic, I was wondering if this wasn't really going to be a discussion and a podcast as much as it was going to be a therapy session for me, because and for himself. So there's a lot of self-talk here.
Yeah.
You're not going to find a whole lot of people that work the amount of hours and are as dedicated to the things that we're passionate about as we are. And we tend to not take a break because we're always here to serve.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to unplug in those situations. And we tell people to.
Well, and it does happen occasionally. It's true. But if I see something else that needs to be done, I typically do that, before I take the time for myself. But I do have to remind myself without actually what they say, sharpening the saw, then maybe you can't cut the wood.
Right. I mean, so going back when we started working together in June, I had expressed to you at that time that I wanted you to take a break for yourself, and you go, yeah, I really need to. And then you got started, and I think I've asked probably no less than 8 or 10 times whether you're ready for that break. And here we are, about 5 months in.
Well, I will be ready for it real soon, I promise.
But no real break has happened yet. I also think there are some people, and they shouldn't rely upon this as an excuse to not take breaks. That's for sure. But I do think also people find energy from their work. And they do find sometimes it depends on, there's a great question. Um, Sometimes what we need a break from work or something else is that break from whatever it is we might need a break from. And I think a lot of people sometimes do that as well without really truly finding that which gives them a break from everything.
It's so a break from everything is kind of the key here.
Right.
I mean, there are stressors in work, there are stressors in life. And so finding what a break means for you is different for everybody. And I would say if I'm thinking about myself, things that renew me, they don't always have to do with going on a vacation for a week and going to the beach or going to the mountains. Although, if I get into nature for a short period of time and I'm away from the works of man, that alone can refresh me. Just a half hour or 2 hours a day wandering through a forest or in a gully or whatever it might be.
Well, that's one of the things too that yeah, I think you're exceptional at is you do take the time, even if it's every morning, to provide yourself that time for a break. I mean, you're up before everybody else. So
Pretty much.
3 or 4 in the morning, he's ready to go, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But you find time for whether it's meditation or readings or Tai Chi or whatever you feel is going to reset the center of you.
That's true. Actually, in the mornings, what my typical routine is, I get up, I'll make my cup of coffee, do the little bathroom things you need to do when you first get up. And then I will do a little bit of meditation or prayer, something to that effect. And then after that, usually I will do the puzzles and read the paper, just basically the headlines, anything that really hits me. And that sets my mind working in a certain way. And then after the mind does work, that's when I do something different. And usually it's Tai Chi. Sometimes it's, some study of something I haven't done before. Like maybe it's working on Spanish or something. And so then I've got my heart open, I've got my brain functioning some way. After that, I can go take my shower and then move on with my day. So those are some breaks that I take on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think when you have a truly entrepreneurial mindset, it is very difficult to take a true break because your mind races all the time. It is constantly, even when you're not in work, in the place, in the mode, you're constantly going through some kind of an improvement, process evaluation. It is constantly flowing in your head. And for me, I need something that will absolutely draw in my attention. My wife is great at that. And whatever it is that we're doing, she's great at making me get there. Doing it on my own, that's not that easy to just turn it off and stop with the, if I call it the projects du jour. I mean, Larry Lee will tell you, I live in the land of unfinished projects.
I kind of live in that land too, but I may be a little bit different. Oftentimes my projects there are small projects I do for other people. So let's say my neighbor, for example, is slightly disabled, and so he'll say, "I got this plant, and he's got one hand he can use, not the other." And so I'll do that. And it takes me 5 minutes. For him, it would be half an hour. So that I enjoy. It makes me feel good, and it is a different break from what I normally do. Yeah.
And when would you say for you, when can you recall the last time you would say that for more than a period of time, if you will, a small period within a day? When's the last time you feel you took a break?
Like a real break. Real break would mean out of pocket, not in communication with anybody or anything in my normal personal life or business life. I actually can't remember right now when that was. It was a while ago.
I'm right there with you.
It was a while ago.
because I think when you have so many people that are also, we have a lot of responsibilities to others and the people that we serve and to one degree or another. And then there are people out there that, of course, have amazing responsibilities, if you will, to family.
Yeah.
So, you're constantly on, we're constantly on call.
Yeah.
And it's hard to put it aside. But like I said, I think the cumulative amount of break that you're able to find for yourself in your mornings and in your days, you're much better at it than I am.
Well, I think it does sustain me. It fuels me throughout the day. There are days when I feel like I need more, but those are few days. Now, the other day, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned to you that my oldest friend, Alan Wagner, who lives in India, asked me to come direct to play. Okay. Directing a play is not something you do in a week, especially if you're going to India to do it. This would be a big bloody deal. Probably would be 3 or 4 weeks. One could say that would be a break on the one hand. On the other hand, it would be intensive, to go around the world, the other side exactly halfway around the world. That's exhausting in itself. And then to marshal the resources to get a play produced and directed and on stage, it's exhausting on the one side. On the other side, it's thrilling, and would be a completely different break from everything I normally do. But is that the break that I'm talking about? I don't know yet.
I don't know what a break is. I think a break for so many people is different, and it's as individual as anything else.
Yeah.
And I think when you get that time and you do have a serious break, you understand what it is,
Right.
and you feel it and you embrace it.
Yeah.
But I think we have to probably take a little bit more active stance in finding the time to achieve said break.
Okay, so Lloyd, I'll turn the tables on you and then I'll answer myself. If you were to right now imagine a total out-of-pocket break, what would that be for you?
It would be taking a trip with Carrie Lee somewhere outside of Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because we have 3 4-legged little furry friends. Gonna need a break from them because they're as demanding as any of the agents that I report to, if you will, or clients.
Right.
But it would be to be completely away and to focus on her and on us and our relationship. We've found a lot of great times and great trips. One of the magical places for her and I has always been Santa Fe. That's not too far away that it takes forever and uses up all the time to get there. But once we're there, we tend to do really well at decompressing. I mean, you gotta dip into the email a little bit. You gotta take care of the things that need to be taken care of.
Well, as I recall, the last time you did this is when I called you and we began this whole journey together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna have anxiety. The anxiety just builds because I know what's mounting.
Yeah.
Is the sea of work that's gonna hit me.
Yeah.
When I come back allegedly refreshed.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, those are the most relaxing times for me. Believe it or not, going back and forth from Phoenix and Tucson, a lot of times if I choose not to make phone calls during that time, it does become a therapeutic break. Now with my truck, it drives by itself, which is kind of interesting to a lot of people.
Yeah, not all of us would feel like we were relaxing during that period of time.
Relaxing to let the truck just drive. It's a beautiful thing. You just kind of zone out.
Mm-hmm. And as long as you can set your mind into, I'm going to die one day anyway. So just,
yeah, splat. I like how splat gives you such joy.
Yeah, some days you're the windshield, some days the bug.
But I think of taking a break when you mention this to me. I think for most of us, it is individually defined as what success is for people. And a lot of times people say you need to take a break. It might be a sign that maybe you're getting irritable too.
Could be.
Yeah, you need to take a break, or they're just looking out for you more than anything.
That's certainly the case.
And I mean, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
You know, it was time, when we started working together, it's like, I want you to find that time for yourself and
I actually, I really do intend to. So, and part of the process for me is to really think about what that would be and where it would be, and if I were to imagine in the past the couple of breaks that I have taken that stand out, the two that I can imagine, one was spending basically 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks in Goa on the beach. And, I read books and I just lazed around and I surfed and, snorkeled and wandered around the various sites to see in Goa. That was wonderful. The other was actually a hiking trip in the Himalayas. So I could replicate that here, either in Mexico or, maybe Colorado. Either one of those would be venues that would work for me. The ideal thing would be no cell phone,
no cell phone.
no electronics.
I don't know how many people can do that because I mean, we're addicts to it. We are constantly, these things have trained us so well. As soon as it vibrates, dings, or does anything, and now we've tied so many functions to the same device that we have to pick the thing up.
Yeah.
I have to have it on me to basically get in the car, start the car, do anything, look at my schedule, be able to communicate with people, see what's going on with others. And it's just constantly drawing you in. Now we have push notifications, which everybody is starting to use more and more because, we only have so much bandwidth.
Right.
And when you're getting 300 and 400 emails a day, that kind of just takes on a life of itself.
Yeah.
So then you feel like at that point in time, well, text messaging is about the most safe haven ever. Now we get spam text. So now we're moving to push notifications and individual messenger type apps.
Mhm.
And I think we just keep running, trying to find our own private conversations with the audience we really want to communicate with.
Well, I have an Apple Watch and I do love wearing it on the one hand, but I pretty much have stopped wearing it because it constantly has got me going, what's happening? What's this? What's that? Whereas I actually can put my phone down for a
I
while.
have one of those too.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What's the next thing? They're talking about the glasses that now they've got glasses that have text.
Yeah.
You've seen those?
So
So
it'll be embedded.
yeah.
There'll be no escape to turn it off. Yeah. No. Well, I think everybody out there, thanks again for joining us. I'm sure you all need a break from us today.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Okay. Take a break, guys. Stop.
But this has been a great experience.
Yeah.
First time sitting across from each other, episode number 10 here. So we've been doing it for almost 3 months
And,
having a lot of fun with it.
maybe we could think about taking a break from the break and having this little thing when we're actually taking our breaks. Would that be fun?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, everybody. We're armed and thirsty. I'm Lloyd Fox.
John Majek in the shadows here. That's me.
Go ahead, like, subscribe, and we'll see you here next time.
Thanks, Lloyd.
My 50-plus-year-old eyes need to find the screen again.
Well, that was fun.